Ever since DIY Duke has been building his wooden weight racks, he's gotten one question.
And that question is, how much can these racks hold?
Well, today, we're about to find out. So we're gonna be loading up your rack with over 1,000 pounds, but we're not only doing that, we're gonna be loading up a commercial steel half rack to compare the two and see how much they can both hold. I'm a little nervous. Do you think your build's gonna hold up?
I know it's gonna hold up. I have no doubt in my mind that that baby can hold up more than 1,000 pounds.
Well, that's good because we're about to find out. Let's do it. So what we're gonna go ahead and do first is do a little bit of lifting to kind of show the normal weights we typically put on this thing. Me and Brandon, we usually lift between about 225, 315. The heaviest we've ever really went is 405 doing some squatting. So we're just gonna test it out, see how the rack feels with that kind of weight. And then afterwards, we're gonna start loading that sucker up over 1,000 pounds. And that's what Duke's weight is. Then he's gonna start lifting.
Yeah.
That's just in his balls. He's used to carrying that weight around.
Yeah.
Because we came from him. Now they only weigh about, $125.
Okay, just want to mention a couple things that in the video, the half rack video, we drilled 4 holes in each one so you could stake it to the ground for more stability. Another thing I want to mention too is that when you use your pipe for your racking system, you notice the ones up on top have rusted. So if you're going to do it outdoors, go ahead and paint those and that'll prevent them from rusting. Yeah, get it. I don't need no spot. Are you kidding me?
Safety first. Cool.
I could probably lift 1,000 pounds, but I don't want to show off,
Holding up pretty well so far. It's time to move up.
That away. Ugh.
Nice. For even a rep.
On each side?
Yeah, definitely.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. Now it's the half rack's turn. It's all half rack from this point out. Let's start loading those weights.
Okay, how much weight we got?
405. Dang, 495. Easy. 585. And as you can see, we're kind of running out of room here. So we won't really have any room for more plates on this barbell because unfortunately we don't have a lot of skinny 45s. We have these bumper plates, so it can't fit a lot on the bar. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and stack the bars so we can tell we have the pipes here set up a little bit higher. So we're gonna put a barbell on here and then load more weight on there so that way we can put all 1,000 pounds or over on the rack. And as you can see, you're looking at the mythical 2-bar squat rack. It's very rare. You don't see this one very often. It's only true professionals that are able to lift 2 bars at the same time. We are at 790 now. And as you can see, wood rack still holding up good. So we are now at 860 pounds. I'm getting a little nervous. Typically, you don't see this much weight on any rack, unless, of course, they're power lifters. Most people that are gonna build this rack are not gonna put this much weight on it, but it is still very entertaining to see how much this can actually hold. But we're not satisfied yet. We still got more weight to put on it. We are at 960 pounds. Damn. Heart's getting a little faster, the heart rate. Hearing a little suspense music in my ears now, but we are 40 pounds away from the 1,000 pound benchmark. So let's see if they can hit it. There we go, we're at 1,010 pounds and it's still holding up, hell yeah.
If we had a longer bar, we could put all the weight on one bar, but I think the bar would
The bar might snap before the rack would. 1,050 pounds.
1,050 pounds, and it can hold more. There's no creaking weird sound going on, and the racking pins are staying good. Probably the weakest part right now is maybe the chair flange, but it's holding good.
You know what all I'm thinking of looking at this thing? We're ready to both do a squat and an arm curl at the same time. With 1,000 pounds.
I'd say we add more.
Let's add more. Yeah. 1,120 pounds, and at that much weight, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a day, because as you can see, we'd like to put some more on there, but we just can't fit anymore. So I think now it's time to see how the steel half rack holds up. The wooden one, so far it's good to go. Buff Dude's wood, baby. It holds up damn good. So the wood half rack was a success, over 1,100 pounds. Now we're gonna go ahead and unload all of that and begin putting it all back onto the steel commercial half rack. Let's do this. So this steel half rack has been used for many years by me and Brandon. We've done hundreds of backyard workouts, so it's definitely used. It's not new, it's not right out of the store. So there's gonna be a little difference naturally between the wood rack and the steel rack, but regardless, it's still gonna be fun just to see how they both compare to one another. So we're at 315 steel rack, still holding up well. I think the most we've ever gotten out of this is about 405, which they just put on. So now we're in unknown waters. We're about to find out what happens when you go above 405 on a used steel half rack. So we got 585 pounds on the steel half rack. We ran out of space, so once again, we're gonna go ahead and use another bar in order to continue to load weight up to that 1,100 pound mark. And 30 pounds. It is about to catch up to the wood half rack. So we are at 1,120 pounds. As you can see, the wood rack, the steel rack, they're both strong as hell. They both held up.
But we might mention that it's starting to get stressed on this side on the steel rack. Obviously this is a different configuration because this comes out farther. This is closer to the beam where that's farther, but it's still starting to bend a little back there.
So yeah, it was a tie. Very anticlimactic, but informational, you know, educational. That's what we're here for. This is like one of those UFC fights you see when the two champions have finally gone at it after years and years of bad blood, and it's a 5-round draw. But this is a good draw because you don't want to buy a half rack and have it fall to pieces. So they both held over 1,000 pounds. We're pretty impressed. And store-bought, homemade, equally as good and equally as safe.
Stay safe.
Of course, the homemade is cheaper, so it's actually better.
Yeah.
And you build it yourself, so you have that pride.
It looks tougher.
And it looks tougher.
Buff Dude's approved.
Buff Dude's wood is definitely good. I'm impressed. And I also have the weight has been lifted off my back in a way, because now I know I can lift a lot and it's not gonna fall to pieces. So the Mountain Eddie Hall, I hope this helps you both out, seeing you're the only two men I can think of right now that can probably lift that much weight. Although I don't know if you wanna squat and do a bicep curl at the same time with our sweet dual bar action we got going on. But if you do, you know where to find us.
Yep. What do we say?
Stay buff.